I was cute, I was popping, but my hair was not. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jara Cozy, and if you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get back to why we're here. It all started my senior year of high school. Guys, I wanted some highlights. Now, I've always had some form of color in my hair. Starting in about 9th grade, I had like the little blonde patch in the back. You know how people used to do like the one little patch of color? Yep, I was one of them. However, senior year, I had blonde highlights all throughout my hair. I was cute, I was popping, but my hair was not.
Okay, so I'm taking y'all all the way back. As you can see here, I've always had pretty much healthy hair. I didn't start adding in or slowly start adding in color till really later on into my junior year. As you can see, there's more blonde in the front than there was before. And here I have the highlights all throughout my hair, but it was still healthy because I was still making sure that I was taking care of it.
Guys, I was so excited to attend my HBCU. I just thought I was going to see nothing but naturalistas, everyone in wash and goes, twist outs, bantu knots, you name it. But I was wrong. I showed up to sew-in at Silk Press University. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some natural curl girls on campus. However, in an effort to keep up with everyone around me, I took my flat iron out and I was using it every day. And I was flat ironing again and again and again till I was left with nothing but jagged edges.
As you can see, guys, my hair was still pretty healthy in the beginning, but as you continue to watch, you'll see that my hair gradually got shorter and thinner as time went on. My hair was just not healthy, and I really didn't know what to do with it, so I really just continued to do like little flexi rods or kept it with body so that it'll look fuller. But then I decided to put some clip-ins in my hair to give it more volume, but when I took my clip-ins out, my hair came out with it.
Guys, my hair was so damaged that I had to cut it. And by cut it, I mean cut it. And that was by far the shortest my hair had ever been. And that's what truly started the journey for me revitalizing my healthy hair. So, guys, I'm going to let you know how I got my hair from this to this. So the first thing that I did to really kickstart my healthy hair journey was staying away from chemicals. So that's perm, color, all of that. Now, it is very possible to have color in your hair and still have healthy hair. Like I told you guys earlier, I had color in my hair from 8th grade to senior year, and I was fine. But just one over-processing mistake can take your hair from super curly to limp. Continuing with my healthy hair journey, I knew that my hair was in a very fragile state from the color, so it was very imperative that I was careful with what I put into my hair. If you must color your hair, make sure that you go to a specialist that is trained in the coloring process and also the process afterwards that helps to keep and maintain your healthy hair.
So in the beginning, I kept my blonde in my hair for the most part. I was just going to let it grow out. But then when my hair was healthier, I decided to dye it back to its natural color so I could really start on a clean slate.
This next tip is when I started to really feel myself after my cut, and that was protective styles. This was when I got my first weave. Guys, I had never had a weave my whole entire life, and I got me some 20 inches, some 22, some 24. I thought I was popping, but underneath it, my hair was still in a fragile state. So it's very important that even though you're getting that sew-in and your hair is wrapped up, that you make sure you're still taking care of the braided hair. That means I wasn't just jumping from sew-in to sew-in. I was actually giving my hair some time to breathe in between each sew-in. So I got trims in between it, I got deep conditions, protein treatments, the whole nine, to make sure that I was really taking care of my hair underneath. Also, you want to make sure that you go to the right person to do your sew-in. Since it was my first time getting a sew-in, I played a little trial and error, and you want to make sure that you go to someone who's trained in actually protecting your hair, because if your hair is braided too tight, it'll come out. And you'll know that your hair is braided too tight if you see get these little bumps on the edges or perimeters from where the braids start. That'll be a key indicator to let you know that your braids are too tight and it's going to put too much strain on your scalp and your hair. I'll know that weave isn't the only protective style, and I would suggest if you're trying to really take care of your natural hair altogether and help hold that curl, to go for protective styles like braids or twists or faux locks, because now I'm working overtime to make sure that my leave out matches the rest of my hair that was braided up during my weave process. That leads me to my next tip, which is getting frequent trims. I used to have this thing where I thought if I got a trim, I was getting a haircut. That is not the case. Getting a trim actually encourages growth. It actually encourages healthy hair because our hair cannot grow off of dead weight. So when I had those weaves, I made sure that I was getting frequent trims. So every time that I took my hair out, my hair was in its healthiest state.
So these images show my hair in between each sew-in I had throughout college, and as you can see, there's a gradual change. I made sure I was so consistent with my trims, and my hair definitely showed it.
You'll definitely notice when you need a trim because your hair will be super fragile. Mine gets super tangled and it's prone to breakage. So it's much better just to get those frequent trims and cut the ends off so your hair will be in a healthier state. So this next tip, I know we're probably going to struggle with this. I still struggle with this to this day. And that is putting the flat iron away. Guys, if we want to get serious about having healthy hair, we have got to put the heating tools down. All heat does is reverse your curl pattern and creates more split ends. And more split ends means we're going to have to cut off more hair. And who wants to do that? So it's better off just to stay away from heat altogether. You must straighten. You can just limit the amount of times that you straighten your hair throughout the year or straighten your hair through your wash process. So for example, when I go to get a silk press, if I let the specialist straighten my hair, that's the only time that I'm going to have a flat iron to my head until I wash my hair the next time, because that limits the amount of time that I'm putting heat onto my hair. Now, one of the major negative things that comes from using those heating tools is heat damage. Now, there are some transitioning styles that you can do to help revert your curls back to its natural state. So you can do things like bantu knots, flexi rod sets, perm rod sets, and twist outs with perm rods. I have a video on that on my channel, and I'll link it down in the description box below. All of these styles will help you camouflage that damaged hair and bring your hair back to its natural state.
So this is when I really started to play around with transitioning styles for my natural hair pattern. So I did some perm rod sets, some twist outs with perm rods, and some flexi rod sets. And this was a really great way for me to camouflage my heat damage. And now just about all of my heat damage is gone.
So another tip that really helped me on my healthy hair journey was increasing my deep conditions. So I used to think that the only time I can get an effective deep condition was going to the hair salon. But now we have so many tips, so many tools, so many things that we can utilize to get an effective deep condition in the comfort of our own home. Which is a plus because increasing your deep condition, you're going to probably have to do it once a week. And what deep conditioning does for your hair is that it gives your hair those vitamins and that moisture that it needs to be healthy and to grow. And moisture is very, very important. I've got to the point now where I deep condition my hair at least once a week, if not twice. You'll notice when your hair will need that extra boost of moisture, but just make sure you pay attention to your hair and really make sure that you add deep conditioning to your hair regimen. So something else that helped me along my healthy hair journey was increasing moisture. Heard people say this before, our hair is like a plant. And plants need water and TLC to grow and be at its healthiest state. So it's important that you add water and the right products to your hair follicles. My hair personally gets dry super easily. So I had to do some research. I had to do the work, figure out what my hair porosity was, what type of products would work best for my hair, because it can be a pain having to reapply products or reapply water just to make sure that your hair is moisturized. So with the right products, you can get moisture and it'll last you longer than having to reapply creams and butters and oils to your hair every day. Another thing that was really imperative to moisture intake from my hair follicles was increasing the amount of water that I drank. Now there was a point in time when I didn't really drink water at all. I would much rather have a Dr. Pepper or a Sprite, but that does nothing good for your hair or your skin. So it's very important to gradually add water to your diet, because that will help to increase and lock in moisture into your hair. So this next tip, you can do this probably once or twice a week, but if you are consistent, if you are someone who decides to do this every day, you can really start to see a shift in the thickness and the health of your hair, and that would be scalp massages. So you're going to do these scalp massages with oils. Some of my faves are Jamaican black castor oil, peppermint oil, and the rosemary mint meal oil. So what this does is it increases blood circulation throughout the scalp, and it also encourages hair growth. So what I like to do is I like to part my hair into sections to make sure I get it real good, and I go through with my little oil dropper, and then I lightly massage my scalp. So this is my last and final tip, and probably one of the most important ones, and that will be consistent. Guys, I know that genetics can play an important factor in your hair growth journey. However, if you find some consistent tools, you will have healthy hair. But once I really started to embrace my hair and care for it, instead of just jumping from sewing to sewing and then take care of it in between those times, is when I really started to see my hair become healthy again. And that is what is important. So around 2 years after my cut is when I really started to try some natural styles. My hair was a little longer at this point, but my hair was still frail. So that's when I started to do those transitioning styles. But also I was still going back and forth between straight hair and curly hair. So I was embracing my natural, but I was still putting that heat on my hair.
As my hair got longer, I started to take a break from weaves, and I really started to wear my natural hair 24/7. Y'all, I was feeling myself. I was going back and forth between straight hair and natural hair. However, I still had some heat damage that I had to work through.
So yes, my hair was healthier, it was longer, but it took me saying, okay, I want my curls back to their full potential. And I didn't really get serious about that until this year, the beginning of this year, and that's when I got my first ever diva cut.
So this is it. I asked for more volume, so she gave me some like layers, and this is just a wash and go, so there's like no gel, just like shampoo and conditioner in my hair. And this side has like some straight piece, just a straight piece in the front, so I'm gonna have to like do twist outs to train it, because she could only cut off like so much of those ends. But other than that, like, I'm obsessed with the shape, and I think it's gonna look so good like once I start doing my twist outs and stuff. But it literally looks like my curls look so healthy.
My diva cut started the process of cutting off all of those heat damaged ends. So that's something too. You don't have to automatically go to a big chop to get healthier hair. You can cut off your hair in increments to slowly grow your hair back to its healthy state. I'm still in the process of training my leave out from when I decided to be semi-serious about being natural. But now my leave out curls way more than it did in that diva cut video I just showed you guys. So following these tips have really helped me transition my hair to a healthier state. So one of the last things that I will add to my tip about being consistent is adding a hair care regimen. It's so important to do your research and figure out what your hair care needs are, because once you add those tips in, a hair care regimen will help you to put those tips into place. So now what I choose is one day out of the week, and I would suggest doing that. Sundays are a good day, Thursdays, whatever works for you, and that'll help you be consistent and to put those tips into practice. I hope you guys are able to take some tips and apply them to your hair strands. Please keep in mind that everyone's hair journey is different. Everyone's hair regimen is going to be different. But as long as you do the research and figure out what works best for you, you will get very promising results. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm wishing healthy, happy, luscious hair on all of you guys. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next vid.